We are in the third and final game now. We'll see what is brought to the table between these two teams. Obviously, Simplified Gaming, safe to say they're trying to pull the upset here. I'll actually try to look at that right now, but I don't know if Simplified Gaming has actually been in Diamond before. Let's see their match history here real quickly. It looks like they have not. No, they started in Bronze. It looks like Cycle 5. They worked their way up, and here they are, Cycle 8 Diamond. So yeah, they're reminiscent of like Denial Esports. You know, Denial Esports, talk about them starting in the Bronze division and working their way up to Diamond and then doing very well in there. And that's kind of where this team is at. Simplified Gaming, you know, the biggest difference obviously is that Denial Esports, that was a team of players that we pretty much knew from the beginning, but Simplified Gaming, not so much. But we had that storyline many times in several cases last season. Already a couple cases this season, and they're trying to be yet another team that kind of works their way through the ranks and make something happen here in the Diamond Division now. So this is obviously a big opportunity for them to pick up a solid victory and move on here in the brackets, but the law is in their way. And if the law plays like they did, especially in game number 2, it is going to be a difficult task. And obviously you see at hand also what they're going to have to be dealing with. Tempest and Keeper of the Forest picked up over there, as well as Engineer. I mean, that already is a strong trio of heroes that you have over here on the Legion side. So definitely right off the bat, a little worried for Simplified Gaming in terms of what they have to match up against. You look at the bans that happened, it was Kraken Warbeast coming out from the law, so same thing as last game. Ophelia and the Ravener banned by Simplified Gaming. So they decided to ban the Ravener instead of the Keeper of the Forest here. And then on top of that, again, they not only give up the Keeper of the Forest first pick, but then they allow the law to take Tempest with their final pick. So Simplified Gaming had 2 chances to pick up Keeper of the Forest or Tempest, excuse me, as to kind of prevent that and also pick it up for themselves. But they're confident that they can match up against this, and they go the Hag, Pestilence, and Master of Arms to kind of play their own style and to address it that way. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out once again for Simplified Gaming. Gemini, the first ban right off the bat. It's not surprising to see, excellent. They understand that that's probably a comfort hero, to say the least, over here for Wayne Dawn and for Simplified Gaming. So going to ban that up. So no Gemini, third game. Sandwraith then response from our Hellborn team. Flux is then going to be taken out by the law. And I find that a little bit interesting because Flux could definitely be a very, very good hero for this Legion lineup. And you know, if anything, you want to force Simplified Gaming to ban it themselves, because I would have thought that could have been a pretty good fourth pick here for Team X. But they just don't want to go that direction, and obviously they just don't want to allow to Simplified Gaming to get it either. So making that ban happen, Dark Lady going to be taken out by Simplified Gaming here, and that's so they're clearly eyeing these hard carries over here, but Dark Lady's a little bit off the wall. I mean, Dark Lady is great against a hero like Wretched Hag, so perhaps that's just kind of in the back of their head right here. And it's not like Dark Lady's out of the question as a carry option. It's just usually you wouldn't see that being a ban unless we saw it earlier in the series, perhaps. But no, she has not made an appearance from what I can recall. So kind of an interesting ban there. Torturer taken out as the final ban from the law. And they're going to finish off with a support option themselves, knowing that Simplified Gaming could very likely go another support here. Soul Reaper is going to be the final one from Simplified Gaming. So that definitely makes a lot of sense, again, especially when you're dealing with the Keeper Tempest already style lineup, big around the team fight. Zephyr, it definitely comes to mind right off the bat, though. I mean, they ran the Zephyr first game, obviously didn't come through with a victory, but this is a lot more of a Zephyr style lineup here on the Legion side. So would not be surprised to see a hero like that coming out for them. You know, doesn't have to be Zephyr, though, at the same time. Corrupted Disciple seems like he's pretty popular in these kind of lineups as well. So those are 2 heroes, at least, that are standing out to me off the bat. Rally is going to be the pickup, though, for now, coming out for the law. And that's one of those cases where it looks like it's going to end up being a middle rally here to go with the Engineer. They got Keeper of the Forest for Suicide, Tempest Jungle, and they'll probably just need their short lane here to finish things off. Dampier going to be coming out for our Hellborn team. How about that? They're going the Dampier route, so they're not running the Jungler. They got the Dampier. It's been a while since we've seen a successful Dampier game, man. It seems like that nerf, obviously it did hurt him a little bit, and that kind of really has kept a lot of teams from going back to him, it seems like things have kind of shifted to an extent, too. I know Stay Green, they're still known for banning Dampier a lot of the time anyways, but yeah, Corrupted Disciple is going to be the final pick. So, yeah, the Laws lineup, I mean, this is just a very well-rounded, very well-built lineup here. This is all about we want to be able to group up, push you, and there's not much you're going to be able to do about it kind of lineup. And I like that, especially against a hero like Dampier. You know, Dampier needs a little bit of that time to get the start going. If the Law can really get a good jungle here on Tempest, get a good start overall, they can really take advantage here. Andromeda's the final pick from Simplified Gaming. Again, a sound pick there. He's a good babysit for the Dampier. Also a great Tempest stopper. Also just a great save here in those fights if initiation happens from the Legion team. So, I mean, Simplified Gaming's lineup is a strong one too, but I mean, I look at the Law, and that is a scary lineup. It's one thing to be a strong lineup, but it's another thing to be a very scary lineup. And I think the Law is pretty happy, to say the least, with what they ended up with when it comes to their hero. So it's going to come down to, no doubt, a lot of playing around this Dampier, as it usually does. We'll see how experienced and how well Simplified Gaming's able to play around the Dampier and make sure that he gets the farm that is necessary to be able to ultimately take over the game like we definitely know he can. So the lane, though, the lanes definitely are very solid overall. I mean, you got Master of Farms, Pestilence middle, you got Hag for the Suicide, Dampier, Andromeda for the short lane. At least I expect that's what they're going to do. I mean, I guess the possibility of them running some kind of an aggressive trialing with Andro, Master, Pestilence isn't out of the question. I just don't know if that would be your best bet here. I mean, you just need to make sure that Dampier has that good start, and this could kind of sacrifice that to an extent. And granted, it is more of a little more of a passive style of a lineup here from the Law, but what the Law could do, they could just definitely send Rally Engineer bottom with that Tempest in the jungle to kind of match up and meet up against it. Or they don't even need to do that. I mean, they could just win their other lanes and then, you know, kind of work off of that. So I don't know if it's definitely going to be a risk here if that's what Simplified Gaming goes for. But with the way they're starting, I mean, initially, obviously you want to get into the jungle right here and kind of ward it up, prevent Tempest from having the clean start. But something tells me they might be going for that. So we'll see how it works out in the end for Simplified Gaming if they do end up running that aggressive tri-lane. You see off the bat here, no wards going down just yet, but Master of Arms has the 2 rev wards. There goes one. Going to place it. You see a ward aside to block the pole camp. And now he's going to work his way over here and get the rev ward down there as well. So Pew on that Tempest, he right off the bat upgrades the Kurt. No, it doesn't upgrade the Kurt, actually. Oh, wow. He doesn't even... so no rev wards at all. Interesting. He was sitting on that gold, but he decided he just doesn't need it. He's going to instead get the makings of the Talisman of the Exile, but that's because he's going to top lane, so that definitely makes sense. Okay. So he says, yeah, not even going to bother. He notices that they have 3 heroes. They're possibly running the aggressive trial lane, so yeah, it makes sense. Go to the top lane. They're going to have Rally solo here, and yeah, they're just going to have NG babysit the Corrupted Disciple middle lane. So yeah, this is exactly, I was talking about how the Law is going to be able to react to this pretty well, so I just don't know if this is going to be the best option for Simplified Gaming right here. And, I mean, sure, they're going to put some pressure on to Rally, but Rally's not a hero you're going to easily kill by any means. So, I would hope for Simplified Gaming's sake that they don't spend too much time down here. Andromeda hasn't shown himself necessarily just yet, but I believe he kind of has because he's ran past the water side. Now, they're going to combo right here. Will this be enough for the kill? Actually, this could be big. No, but there's the compel. The auto attack hits. He goes down to about 35 life, but he will survive. And so the surprise factor is definitely up here. I mean, Andromeda's going to still sit here for now, but now you would think Brodex is going to play very passive to the point of being able to jump in. It's going to be nearly impossible. So the longer you wait down here without getting a Bloodlust kill, the worse it's going to be off here for the Hellborn team. You see in the middle lane, actually, Wretched Hack taking some good pressure from Panty there on Engineer. Not much he's going to be able to do. And again, Tempest, he's going to have free reign. He has free farm here in the opposition's jungle. So Simplified Gaming, again, they've been on a clock ever since they made this choice to send the aggressive trial lane. They are going to finally start having Andromeda realizing that, so you know what, this is not going to work. We can't get the kill. I got to move. So he's going to head towards that top lane. And it looks like so is Master of Arms for that matter. So this is going to end up being more of a Pestilence versus a Rally down here. And that's kind of an awkward matchup to see, especially a Pestilence in that long lane. At least for now. I mean, Master of Arms and Andromeda, though, they're kind of doing a fake here. They're coming back, but they're running past Ward aside says they're doing this. So Brodex 5 level, he knows all that information. he starts falling back. In fact, he's going right into them. Interesting pathing choice there from Rally, but not the biggest deal in the world. Says hello, and then quickly turns around. So that's, yeah, again, it seems like Simplified Gaming's almost lost in terms of what to do right here, and this just keeps on going back to this decision. You know, it is brought up a lot where, you know, the idea that you want to see more teams, you know, run some aggressive trial lanes. I think that's more of a past thing, though. Lately, that's been more of a popular thing, to run the aggressive dual lanes, run the aggressive trial lanes. TMSR, Lions, or TMSR especially, has really been, you know, to kind of really help push it onto the scene, and, you know, multiple teams have definitely followed that. And again, I always go back to, too, it seems like nowadays we're in one of those phases in the competitive scene we've been in now for a while where you just don't know what we're going to see as far as the strat. We could see the 2-1-2, we could see the 2-2-1, we could see the jungle strat, we could see the aggressive trial lanes. As the courier's picked off, by the way, the Hellborn courier, Dampier's going over there to pick up the items. He's going right into Tempest, though. I mean, he had to know that Tempest was over here, of course, getting it picked off. But his Crushing Claw and Mark of the Novice are just sitting here. So he's trying to finish his Blood Chalice, but he's kind of getting boxed out at the same time. So Tempest is going to fall back, though, because he is low on life, doesn't know where the supports are. And so Dampier is going to be able to finish it. Okay, there you go. He finally picks it up. Had a little bit of trouble getting over there. But anyways, the point being, sometimes it's just good to go the safe route. Do the thing that you know you can be safe with. You don't need to take those risks, go crazy all the time, or else it could kind of backfire like this. So with that said, how is Dampier doing? He is 16-2, but look at Keeper, man. I mean, Beaver on Keeper, 17-6 start. He's having a great time. Dampier obviously not even necessarily doing the best. He's doing solid, but not having free farm by any means. Pestilence is having a good time here at the bottom lane, 22-13 now, so that is good news, of course, for Simplified Gaming. But, you know, a slow start for Dampier is always a little bit of a scary thing. Reshad, she, of course, is not doing too much here in the middle lane. It's been a tough lane for her, though, so understandable. And on the other side of it, Corrupted Disciple, he's doing good. He's doing good. So, overall, it seems like the Law is feeling good about the situation here. 1,000 gold lead, 1,800 experience lead. Looks like Tempest is also back in his own jungle now that the wards for the most part have worn out. There's a ward site still blocking the pole camp here, but top lane, they're jumping. Keeper of the Forest, by the way. Master of Arms, he's coming in. He has goo, but not going to really find the opportunity to place it. And Dampier's still kind of chasing. Is he going to queue right here maybe? No, it's not going to happen. And we'll go back to farming. But now Master of Arms is up here to kind of babysit the Dampier. So he's going to start pushing back, Keep the Forest to an extent. And this could definitely work out a little bit better now. Pestilence has Steam Boots finished. Corrupted Disciple has that Soul Scream Ring delivered on top of the power supply. And you see Master of Arms. They don't have dust, though, or anything, so the kill potential of on the Skipper of the Forest is pretty minimal here. But again, going back to a Dampier lineup, you also keep an eye on how the stacks are looking. So far, none of the camps being stacked. Ancient still single stack, maybe a little early for that, but the jungle camps definitely could be being stacked here. You know, you look at the lane situation right now, coming up to the 6-minute mark, you would like to see some stacks coming out, but Master of Arms, unfortunately, just kind of sitting here waiting for, well, who knows what, but they're going to throw it a pause, so maybe there was some lag spike or something, but yeah, that's a case right there again, though. There's no reason why you shouldn't at least be stacking these two camps right here to be able to have Dampier go in there and start farming them up ASAP. So, in the end, it is what it is, though, and I mean that goes back to just inexperience sometimes, and you know maybe a little bit of nerves. This is the first time this team has obviously been on HoNcast, and you know they are facing this is their first Diamond Division cycle here. They're facing a sound team in the Law. I mean, no doubt that's play factor too. You know, it's just that's just life. I mean, that's really psychology. You know, when you're facing players and teams that you know just are in that level, they've been at that level before. They've been through that experience of getting that exposure and you know competing at that stage. You might. So if this was like a gold or a silver level match for this team, you know, not being broadcast or whatever, you know, they might be stacking the camps and setting up for Dampier. But for whatever reason, that's just kind of slipping their mind in terms of here in this game. But you know, maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just they are just that inexperienced, and unfortunately, not the most experienced playing around a Dampier kind of hero, and you know, making sure that jungle's stacked. But it's you know, it's definitely could prove to be a big negative, you know, not taking advantage of that. You know, at the same time, I might be looking too much into it and overrating that fact, but Personally don't think I am, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So again, obviously a pause coming out here is something's up at Windon's place, unfortunately. So Windon, the Dampier player. I got a couple of updates for you guys as far as the other series that are going on here in the losers bracket. It looks like Team Excellent, they actually defeat You Love to Party 2-0. So Team Excellent moving on to the following round. IG is going to be moving on. They take out Willowmakers there. TDN is currently up 1-0 against Reason Gaming, actually. So that's kind of an interesting result to see there. And let's see. So I believe they're currently in game number 2, and it looks like well, that must have been a long game 1 then. So they're early number 2. So yeah, only 4 minutes in. You can't really judge too much from this, but you do see the lineups at hand. Forsaken Archer in that game, with Grenix being ran from Reason Gaming, but that would be an interesting result. This TDN team, don't know too much about them, but I guess Moe's Tavern comes to mind. You see a couple of tags there, and a couple of players, maybe somewhat recognizable names, but not an everyday Diamond team by any means. So that would most certainly be an upset, though. And then, of course, our series tied at 1 game apiece. Once again, the following series to be covered: the winter bracket semifinals. We got Lion Esports Club versus Too Much Sugar. That is set to take place, as always, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European Time is when the lobby actually starts. So usually about 15 to 20 minutes after that. By then, the first game should be kicking off. So about an hour and 15 minutes from now, we should be jumping into the first game of that series here when it comes down to it. So obviously, got this game 3, though, and hopefully it's a little bit longer of a game, a little more of an exciting game that leads in nicely into that series. We'll see, though, how that plays out. So, in the meantime, though, you see they're actually going to rotate to the jungle right here. So, not sure what that was about. Don't know if I just missed something there, but interesting. Anyways, they're going back to the top lane. I don't know if that must have been like a lag spike or something. They just both like ran towards the in the jungle for some reason, and then both just ran back into the lane. Really didn't do too much. So they're going to try to maybe go on to Keeper the Force right here. Oh, here we go. Terror comes out. There's the stun. Keeper the Force in trouble. Will it be enough? He's going to get the Nature's Veil off. They don't have dust or anything on them, unfortunately, and Keeper the Force will be fine. So a funky play almost resulted in a kill, actually. So kind of the fake strategy, I guess, but in the end, Keeper the Forest will barely survive. But yeah, that's also cute to perhaps pick up some dust there. Master Rounds on tap. Ultimate catches Andromeda and Pestilence. They walked right into that trap. Will it be enough? Pestilence, big impale. So the kicks on his Andromeda, though. The compel to get the Bloodlust kill. Brodex 5 level. We just saw that on camera. He barely got away initially. He got the team support, though. And they eventually turned that around right there when it's all said and done. So well played coming out by the Law, and Brodex 5 level especially. That was a nice kill for him. He's level 6 now, so Pestilence farm. It's still very solid farm. He's not the one that died there, and he's going to continue. But actually, there's the jump on him. But no, Rowley's going to fall. The Swarm debuff was on him. I think he might have even got a gore proc right there. Maybe not, but anyways, Brodex 5 level going complete man mode right there. Did not do the math appropriately, though. And unfortunately, took a little bit more damage than he was expecting. So Pestilence is like, okay, that works for me. Easy turnaround kill. I mean, underestimating the Swarm, perhaps. I mean, that's -6 armor at level 1. You see what Rowley has. He only has 4.6, so he was definitely in the negatives there, just from a level 1 Swarm, and that definitely did some good damage. Top lane once again, Keep the Force, taking some good pressure. But again, they don't have dust. They're not going to get this kill unless they have dust, and unfortunately, they don't have it. Now, it's still, even though they're not getting a kill, they still are boxing out Keep the Force to the point where he's forced to use that Nature's Veil and kind of play very defensively. So it still is accomplishing something, but obviously the end goal, you want to be able to get those kills. And I keep looking back at this jungle, though, especially with this lane positioning, and it's just no stacking going on. Master of Arms, unfortunately, doing a lot of just sitting around in the lane and not a whole lot of keeping active here. And this continues to be a little bit of a unfortunate theme because it's the obvious. The Dampier lineup especially, stacking that jungle, getting in that farm is what it comes down to. Keep the Force again, but again the Nature's Veil goes off, and again he will be fine. So they keep trying, man. They are persevering, but in the end, he stays alive. Andromeda at the bottom lane, and Pilson's going to come out. Seismic Slam already hit, though. Andromeda's going to end up falling. Pestilence will be fine. Wretched Dag was running over. She had a Bat Blast. No, not even ready to go. Didn't really have the most mana right there. But in the end, Andromeda gets picked off. So well played once again. Coming out by the Law. You do see Master of Arms, again, kind of trying to box out Keeper the Force right here. Dampier, he has those 3 essences. He is hitting pretty damn hard. And his farm, I mean, 290 gold per minute. So now being 9.5 minutes in, he's got the Steam Boots out, at least, with the Blood Chalice. But Keeper of the Forest able to hold his own, farming 280 gold per minute. Corrupted Disciple is continuing to do good. Sequence at 326 now. GPM. He's been just sitting in that middle lane. It looks like the Law is also going to put some pressure on this bottom tower here. They're going to be easily dropping that. So it's going to be more of a good swing in the Law's favor. 4,000 plus gold lead, 3,400 experience. And once again, top lane, they're really trying to stick on the Keeper of the Force. There we go. Revward's put down at least. So they do have some kind of vision now. Maybe not ideally the best way to do it, because usually with the Dutch want to be able to chase him, but they're going to go again right here. You do see Andromeda coming for the cutoff. Keeper of the Force trying to run. He knows that they have invis detection now. Doesn't even need Andromeda. Consume comes out, and this time they do get the kill. So go figure. They finally get the vision through the invis, and they get the kill on top of that. So Dampier's farm is definitely starting to step up now. You do see the bottom lane, though. The Law is going to keep this going, it looks like. They're going to apply some good pressure onto the bottom tower. Pestilence and Wretched Hag in the meantime. They're pondering what to accomplish here. Wretched Hag does have that Bat Blast ready to go. You see Andromeda and Master of Arms both picking up TPs. They're kind of hiding off to the side, and here we go. TP's coming in. The Seismic Slam Pestilence taking some good damage. Bat Blast hits Rally, but the Tempest Ultimate pulls them in as soon as they pour it in. Pestilence is going to fall, but they can still get some more kills. Tons on both Engineer and a Tempest. Will they at least get Tempest? It looks like it. They want more. Rally off to the side. He has a Capel. Brodex going man-mode once again. Beautiful catch on the finish on Master of Arms, but at one cost right here. Brodex 5 level. He might be in some trouble. Wretched Hag's out of mana, though, and he will survive. Beautiful man-up coming out, and now you see Corrupted Disciple even joining the party, and that'll be the ultimate cue for Simplified Gaming to completely fall back. So yeah, Dampier not being able to port in, but on top of that, they poured it into that Tempest Ultimate. That did not help the situation either, but a kind of a back and forth exchange right there between the two teams coming out. We do see Dampier, though. He's getting pushed in by Keeper the Force in the meantime. Dampier currently 1,600 gold saved up. Going to go on and Keeper the Force right here. Consume comes out, actually. Oh, wow. Close to a kill, but again, it's Keeper the Force is just barely able to escape. You do have Tempest nearby, though, so it's a good thing for Dampier that he didn't look to chase right there, because that could have been running into a trap. Keeper the Force has a root. They want to set something up here. Engineer's running in. He probably will run past this Revward. I don't know if he's going to be seen right there. I don't know if he was seen. Dampier might be in a lot of trouble right here. You see the invis put on himself. We're going to see a root come out. Dampier, there's the root. He's in a lot of trouble. The stuns to follow. Kicks it on top. He cannot get away. No, why didn't he tear? Oh, man. He had to consume as well. I feel like he had a chance to use one of those two abilities, but I think that was simply the case of he just got panicked. He was trying to run more so than anything, and that was not going to happen. So, unfortunately, he falls right there. Middle lane in the meantime. Rally compels and Corrupted Disciple, and not able to finish off Hag, though, as she blinks away. Andromeda sitting with just a health potion, and that's it. That's kind of funny, actually, seeing it. But in the end, actually, Rally's going to chase Capel. There's the Seismic Slam. Brodex 5 level once again doing the man-up, and sets up the kill onto Andromeda. So a storyline here for the Hellborn team. Dampier's going to resurrect, but his GPM is not taken off by any means, unfortunately. Wretched Hag, Conduit's coming out. Rally with the Compel. Wretched Hag does have a blink. Corrupted Disciple chasing, though. He knew where she would blink to pretty much, and down it goes Wretched Hag. Very good coordination right there between the two. And Corrupted Disciple doing a good job of obviously chasing down and expecting where the blink was. So, Keeper the Forest, though. That's Engineer, actually, that has the invis. He has an energy field ready to go. Dampier only the one essence on him. Keeper the Forest charging in. Doesn't have a root just yet. Pestilence farming up his portal key here, so at least he has that to work with. Now there goes the energy field, though, the lockdown. They're going to pull it back in with their turret. Dampier going back in, but the energy field continues to silence him. He just got caught in between a rock and a hard place, basically. Master of Arms also picked off, and the Law just has all the momentum going for them in the world right now. Again, I just think a lot of it just simply comes down to the fact that the early lane choice, they sent the aggressive trial in here. from Simplified Gaming. It did not work out. The Dampier, they weren't really stacking the jungle at all for him to transition into there and pick up his farm, as we see all the time with those Dampier games. And now the Law, they're just getting way too big of a lead. Nearly an 11,000 gold lead now, an 8,700 experience lead here. And they're possibly just going to keep pushing. Look at that. Oh, that's a little bit of trollish going on. He's selling and buying over and over. Keeping the force in the meantime at the top lane, actually. Swarm is up. Root comes out. The Dampier just jumped and couldn't kill him, though. And there's the Tempest all the way. Going to pull in the two. The follow-up damage, not the best necessarily. Corrupt Disciple locks in the background, but Hatchet Hag will fall. And now Dampier in trouble. 5 conduit charges. He's hitting plenty hard. Is Corrupt Disciple. Pestilence able to fly away, though. And he'll be fine. So they only lose the Wretched Hag there in that fight. They did get the kill onto Keeper of the Force in the meantime. But now they're going to push this top tower. And this should be an easy tower kill for the Law. So we got Simplified Gaming falling back to base, basically regenning as a team right here. They're going to mass TP. They're going to mass TP to the top lane. Oh, look at Rally, though. He's setting up. No, he's going to man down. Brodex 5 level has been manning up this whole game, and right there he decides to man down, unfortunately. He does eventually go to the Portakey, by the way, as you saw right there. He was kind of trolling a little bit with the buying and selling the Alchemist Bones, but nope, he actually goes to Portakey in the end. The smart decision there, as the top tower gets denied, actually, by Pestilence. So obviously Simplified Gaming here, they're going to do their part to hang in here at least and buy some time for, once again, Dampier to kind of recover and make that bit of a comeback. They did get that Portakey on Pestilence recently. He is chasing Tempest. Will it be enough? One auto attack is all that's needed, and yes, it will be enough, as Pew gets picked off right there. So well played by Exili there, as here comes a counter, though. Rally, he has a demoralizing roar, not going to compel, though. You know, support's probably coming in, and he was right on that. Oh, look at Rally, though. He's got an image. He lines up perfectly about the side of Extend. It's both. Down goes Master Farms. Brodex 5 level on the run now. Keeper of the Forest doesn't have a root just yet. There's the Nature's Veil, though, and just like that, he's going to be fine. Soda Scream misses, unfortunately, and Rally just walks away. So the team support just seems to be there in time. Corrupt the Disciple, the bottom lane. He's going to look to push in this tower now. And that's going to end up being a free tower kill for him. So the leads just continue to get bigger and better. 13,000 gold lead now on top of the 8,700 experience. And there's the shrunken head purchase already on Corrupted Disciple. So this all-out team fight push strategy here for the Law is definitely in full force right now. Coming out from the Lex Talionis purchased by Brodex. That's a fun item to see right there. But hey, might as well amp the damage you're putting out. Also give yourself your own bit of magic armor, of course. So definitely a sound choice from Rally right there. Pestilence going to fall back before he gets jumped. He has a Blood Chalice on himself as well. Dealt with this mana situation, but he is 3-1-0, 330 gold per minute. So Pestilence is continuing to do actually solid here. Lightbrand is finished on Dampier as well. He's going throughout the jungle, but again, it's not necessarily stacks that he's working with. It's just more so single camps, unfortunately. So in the end, Engineer gonna farm the jungle imps. I thought he was gonna stack, but no, we're not at the mark just yet. Just gonna farm it up with Tempest here. Tempest does have his own portal key, of course. Let's see, Keeper of the Forest and Corrupt the Disciple gonna clean up the Ancients in the meantime. The Disciple obviously sitting on that shrunken head now and working towards this next tier of item. Astrolabe finished on Keeper of the Forest, so they may be waiting for a couple of items here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Law just group up here in the near future and really kind of go full force. I mean, we were talking about that a lot in the TMSR versus Recent Gaming series yesterday. TMSR had a somewhat similar lineup. I believe they had the Tempest, Corrupted, and the Keeper of the Forest. I don't know. Did they have the Engineer as well? They might have even had the Engineer as well. But at least they had those three. I mean, they had very Team 5, very... I mean, they got to a point where they had Resto Stones on both Tempest and Keeper of the Forest. And it felt like they could have just finished it a lot sooner on, but they were insisting on continuing to farm and helping out Reason Gaming, perhaps buying more time for them to eventually make a comeback. But in the end, TMSR, of course, pushed through to victory and won it, so that's what matters. But my point being that for the Law here, you know, I kind of wonder if that's what they're going to be going for it now here. I mean, I already feel like with the builds and the way that they've been playing, it's not going to be the case. You do see Alex Talionis level 3 now finished on Rally. And as I say all this, they are grouping up mid now. And it looks like the Law is pretty comfortable that they can make a middle push happen. So Corrupt the Disciple going to be in the front lines. So obviously he is just there for bait pretty much, hoping that that Simplified Gaming looks to jump him. Not going to be happening though, so instead they'll just continue to push the tower. Dampier is going to farm up the top lane while this is happening. Probably our best, just giving up this tower. I mean, the idea of fighting outside of your base at this point in time is pretty risky here for Simplified Gaming. So the Law, they're not necessarily going full force into the tower by any means, though. They're kind of slowly beating away at it. See Master of Arms continue to lay down that goof. And they can definitely jump him, though, if he kind of steps up right there once again. It would be the most difficult jump. You see bottom lane, Redneck's kind of pushing that out. This will end up being an easy middle tower kill for the Law. And again, it's just a matter of whether to keep going. Maybe look to clear up Kongor here. I wouldn't be surprised either for that. And then that could even be the more effective choice here. Kind of either just try to draw them out or just get a free Kongor kill. And that's exactly where they're going to. So here goes the Kongor pit now. Well, the pause coming out. We have a lot of pauses in this series. Apparently there's some lag. Get that sorted out quickly here and move on. And a lot of people, though, as I am, of course, are really looking forward to that next series here. TMSR versus Lion Esports Club. That's going to be, as always, a fun one. Those two teams matching up against TMSR. Obviously, a little bit different circumstances. Keizu, I believe he's even watching the cast currently, but no longer a part of TMSR. Archie Tiger stepping in for him this cycle. Although, from my understanding, once again, I keep reiterating this because I'll make it very clear, he is not their new fifth. They are still in the process of looking for a new fifth and getting that figured out. But for now, Archie Tiger stepping in for this cycle, at least for this weekend, and helping them out. But that's not to say it's because of that they can't defeat Lion Esports Club by any means. I mean, the star power name's still there. They are a team that can and will compete, and that is going to be a great series. I'm confident in that. But yeah, Lion Esports Club, they're back-to-back cycle champions. Sure, they finished 3rd, 4th overall at DreamHack with that loss of Stake Green in the semifinals. And, well, speaking of that, the biggest reason why they got that matchup in the first place is because they lost again their first game against TMSR to open up DreamHack winner 2013. So you talk about a little bit of revenge factor definitely there as well for Lion Esports Club. So that is going to be a fun series, man. And again, that is set to happen here next on HoNcast. So obviously you do not want to miss that. Kongor, though, he is eventually being dwindled down. You do see Simplified Gaming, they're in the area. So this is all saying that just drawing them out. Pestil's going to go, and here we go. Corrupt the Disciple taking some good damage. Oh, that's giving the force action. Gets through it off, though. Pestil's gets countered on with the side of stab. He will fall. Underneath into the back on Tam is holding him in. Will get countered by Andromeda, but it just doesn't matter. The team fight's way too strong for the Law. Hat-trick coming out for a sequence. Kongor's going to be cleared up. And I think the end is possibly near now for Simplified Gaming. It was a hell of an effort. Hey, they're going to be staying in Diamond at least. Definitely a team worthy of it, but clearly, you know, get that experience over time. Look back at this strategy here. There you go. GG well played is being called. No vote coming out just yet. There you go. So again, I think this game really shows you that unfortunately inexperience for Simplified Gaming. I mean, hey, you got to earn it. You got to get that experience somehow. Like I said, they started bronze in cycle 5. It looked like they've moved up every cycle, and here they are, diamond cycle 8. So they definitely done a good job. It's very respectable to see that, and you know, you hope that they do stick around, of course, and just definitely get better as teams do that are willing to commit to it. So. Look forward. I really do look forward to Simplified Gaming and what they're able to bring to the table for these last couple of cycles, even kind of working off this experience that they learned. But again, the biggest thing here in Game 3 especially, the two very noticeable things was the lack of Rev/Dust to try to keep the force at the top lane initially, but then on top of that, the lack of stacking for Dampier, and it was just unfortunate that wasn't really happening. A lot of downtime was there, not stacking going on, and Dampier just was not really able to get any kind of snowball going whatsoever. And when you have a Dampier, it's not really snowballing. Still a solid hero, but obviously not anywhere near where you like him to be. So, but on top of that too, the Law. I mean, not only did they play very well, they had a very, very strong lineup there, of course, in game number 3 especially. So that definitely had a bit to do with it as well. But for Simplified Gaming, again, the road will end here in cycle number 8. Look forward to see what they do in the next cycle. The Law, though, they're going to be moving on into the next round and staying alive here in, of course, cycle number 8. So look forward to that. With that said, guys, it looks like actually this other series here is currently still going on. So going to be taking a short break right here. Oh, wow. This actually looks like we'll be jumping into this one. So I'm going to actually go ahead and take a short break right here, guys. But again, this series here, we got TDN versus Recent Gaming. TDN's actually up 1-0 in this series, and they look like they might be in a decent spot here in game number 2. But we'll have to jump into this one and see what it looks like.